Hi everyone, I'm Ashley and this is episode 11 of Ashlees Knitting. You can find me by that name on Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube. Today, Nilla is joining us. We'll see if she stays the whole time. Maybe, maybe not. And we also have a new friend today. If he walks by, I'll show him to you. You probably saw him in the intro pictures. He'll come if and when he wants. He is my very first cat, so I'm getting used to it. It is a lot, and kittens are a lot. He likes to play with everything. So far, yarn isn't that bad. He only cares about it if I'm currently using it. Hey, come here. Oh, you don't want to come. This is Earl. Like Earl Grey tea, and he's a little boy kitten, new to the family. I love them already, and they're getting along pretty well already, so I can't complain. But that's enough about my pets. We'll get into the knitting now, and I will start with finished objects. The first finished object was a whip for a very, very long time, and that is my cabled scarf. So here it is in all of its glory. First wrapped up so you can see how thick it is, and then you better not maybe this isn't a good idea. Do you want to go lay down? Finally finished it. I haven't taken pictures of it yet, but I hope to get to that today before I edit. It is larger than my wingspan. I think it's about 6 feet long. You're gone. You're done. You're done. Goodbye. I'll see you after. Anyway, I'm very glad I finished this. It is a Christmas present for a friend's girlfriend, so I had until Christmas to finish it, but I'm happy I finished it now because I've got a lot of other Christmas projects to knit, and it's already all twisted up. This yarn he chose, we went together and chose it. It is Karen's Simply Soft Speckles. There it is. In the colorway Wisteria, which I really like. I think the fact that it's mostly solid shows the cables pretty well, and then the speckles give it a little extra flair. And it is an acrylic blend, which I prefer for gifts because most people don't know how to care for knitting the way we do, and that's okay, but this just makes sure it doesn't get ruined. And the pattern is the Dryad by Jared Flood. I ended up using, I think I did, the small size recommends 12 repeats and the medium size recommends 16 repeats, and she's a smaller girl, so I think I did 14, just somewhere in between, partially when I got bored of doing it. But I ended up using about, I haven't weighed it, but it's about 2.2 of those Karen's Simply Soft skeins, so not bad. Did take longer than I'd like to admit, but it also wasn't a priority project, so could have gotten it done faster, just wasn't my priority. And I'll try to roll that back up here. Really happy to get that done. I think I'm going to meet with him this weekend. I'm recording this on Tuesday. Meet with him this weekend to pass that off. Hopefully she loves it. I'll ask for updates and maybe even pictures. So there's that. The Dryad by Jared Flood, aka my cabled scarf. Oh, 1 second. Forgot to grab, sorry Noah, my other finished object. So my other finished object is my A New Leaf socks by Tiff Nealon. They are a DK weight sock and my first DK weight sock. I made them out of polar bear yarn. This was her October mystery sock set, and I got it in DK. I got the 50 gram plus 20 gram And then she also included an extra 10 gram mini of the contrast color, which I highly appreciated because I couldn't have done it otherwise. But that's the yarn, and it has this fisherman's rib for the cuff. And then I did like a semi-shorty. I only did one repeat here because I was afraid of my yarn management. And then contrast heel with a really cool texture, then toe, and then color work throughout the sock. I really like them. I will admit that DK socks, I don't think it's just this pattern, I think it's all DK socks in general. They feel more like a slipper to me. I would not wear them like outside in a shoe. They're just too bulky, but they are very cozy for inside. And I haven't worn them yet so I could show you them, so I'm excited to put them on after the podcast. One second, my cat is scratching. Redirection. It's hopefully a kitten phase and he'll get out of it. But like I was saying, I would not wear these outside, bless you, but they are very cozy. And being DK, the stitch count, it was about like 2/3 of what I usually do, and it went by really fast. I think I got these done in like under 2 weeks, which is really cool. But in the future I would get, for DK, 100 gram sock set because I had very little left, like 1 gram of the contrast color and 3 grams of the main color, and still they're shorties and I used the whole thing. So not like fingering weight when I can get away with a whole pair of sock and like 50 grams, but still great. But I do recommend more yarn, definitely. So I can't wait to put those on after the podcast. And those are my 2 finished objects. I will now move on to whips. And I'll start with the one that you've seen. You're probably sick of seeing it now. You've seen it so much. In my big Hank's Yarn & Co. sweater tote. Get it open here. This thing is massive. And inside, as you probably know, if you've been watching, is my, see if I can get it straightened out here, I am struggling. It is my Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry. Here it is. I am basically done with the yoke. Let me put this on the floor. Basically done with the yoke. I have, I believe, 5 rows until I can split for the sleeves and the body, and I think I will do that tonight. Because there is a sweater Sunday sit in it that I want to go to this weekend, and I want to be to the boring garter section while I'm there so that I'm able to talk to people without being too in-depth. Plus, the rows will just start going by faster. There's so many stitches. It is a fingering weight sweater, and it is taking forever. I think in like a 50-minute Netflix show, I'm watching Lucifer and Grey's Anatomy right now, so about 50 minutes, I can get 5 or 6 rows done, depending on how complicated the row is. And will you stop? This is the progress I made in the past 2 weeks, and that's honestly about probably 7 hours of work. So it's covered in dog hair. I've decided I'm just gonna wait until the end to pick them all off. There's no reason to do it intermittently, but I think just putting it against my body is gonna fit really well. Before I separate, I think I'll put it on scrap yarn to try it on, see how I like the fit. But so far, so good. And that is the Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry. Get out of my project bag, please. For that, I am using Yarn Bee's Authentic Hand Dyed, which I talked about a little bit in the last episode. So thank you for hearing me out on that. But I got it in the colorway Chestnut Ember. And this base is 100% wool. He's gonna stop. It's 100% wool, fingering weight, as I said. And for a budget yarn, compared to the standard hand-dyed, it's a really great option. But my original goal was to have it done by Thanksgiving, which is this week, so that is absolutely not happening. My new goal is New Year's. Get it done by 2022, before 2022. So hopefully that is obtainable. I think it is, especially if I move it to be like my priority project. And once I get through the yoke, the rows will be shorter, less complicated, because the honeycombs, I believe they stop once you get past the yoke and it's just garter in the round. A lot of purling. You're gonna get really good at purling if you decide to do this pattern, and I can say I do a knit row almost twice as fast as I do a purling row, but it evens out, and I think the sweater will be worth all of the work. It is absolutely beautiful. My next whip, which one do I want to do next? Let's do this one. So I have this in a bag from a friend. I won't have it linked because I think she just bought it on Amazon, and I feel weird searching for a gift that someone got me. It just feels weird looking it up and like finding out everything about it. But this is a yarn that I got during the Southeast Michigan Shop Hop. I showed it in the vlog that I posted 1 week ago, and if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. It was really fun to make, and I really hope you like it. But I got this during the Shop Hop. It is Crazy Yarns, No Two Are Alike, which I think is true. This comes from Stonehenge Fiber Mill in Michigan, and I think they spin it there, and they're all one of a kind. They're all different. And this is a 2-ply sport, 100% wool. Sorry about the glare of the tape, plus it's just a little worn off. But, so I'll show you what I have. So this is a Musselburgh, and I'll say first, the scarf, the friend's girlfriend, this is for the friend. I figured if I was giving him something to give away, I should give him something to keep for himself. So I decided to make a Musselburgh. And so it starts with this orange and blue marbling, which in Michigan is the Detroit Tigers, our baseball team's colors, which is pretty cool. And then it gets into blue, and then just a bunch of random different colors, greens, orange, dark blues, grays. It goes into a bunch of random colors. And then the rest of the skein is this dark black and blue. So I want to do, I think, depending on, I haven't measured it, but if I can with the length, I want to do equal to what this is. That way, if I do them equally, he can, so let me explain first. The Musselburgh, you knit like a long tube, and then you tuck one end into the other, so it becomes double thick and reversible. So if he's having a Detroit Tigers day or just a loud colors day, he can wear this part on the outside. But otherwise, if it was just a normal day, this is more neutral. He could tuck this end in, and then this becomes the outer color. But I was hoping, by making the colors equal, that this color in the middle will become like a brim. I don't know, I'll see. I don't know if it'll be long enough. I'll let you know, but since I am meeting with him this Saturday, I made a goal of finishing it by this Saturday, which I think is totally doable. It's just round and round and round. But since that, I do not think I will be able to show you it. Maybe I'll put in a clip in the next podcast of like past Ashlees showing it, or maybe I'll just take a lot of pictures. I'm not sure yet, but you will see it. So that's going pretty fast. My first Musselburgh was fingering weight, and I think I did that one on fingering weight, US 3 needles, and I think it was like 6.5 stitches per inch. And this one is sport weight, and I'm using US 5, and I really like the fabric I'm getting, but it is a 7.75 stitch per inch. So lower stitch count, going around a lot faster. And if you're making it with sport weight, I do recommend the size 5, the US 5 needles, at least for my gauge. I don't think I'm a necessarily tight or loose knitter. I'd say average. I usually match, or I'm pretty close to, what the pattern calls for. So that one will hopefully be done soon. Another gift knit. I'm just in a gift knitting mood, honestly, with the season. So there's that. And I do have one more whip. Socks, of course. If you didn't guess it, I always have at least one pair of socks going. This bag is a gift from Kelly of Ritz Fiber. I think it was just a D-stash, but it's so cute, the little snowman. And this is my first project bag with a zipper. I kind of avoided it and bought drawstring project bags for a long time because I was afraid of my yarn getting caught. And it turns out it wasn't a problem at all. So in here I have a pair of socks for my mom. I'm making every family member a pair of socks for Christmas, and she is the last one I need to do. So I'll start with the yarn for this one. The main color is, it's a little messy. This is the main color. It's showing up a little darker on camera than it is in person. Could just be the lighting. It is from Fuzzy Whatnots, and it is her fuzzy sock fingering, which is a 75-25, but this is a partial skein. It is only 73 grams, and I just think it's so one of a kind, because not really a colorway name. I got this in a yarn swap. Off the top of my head, I can't remember who with, but I don't know if it was dyed a partial skein or if the person I swapped with used some and reskeined it. I'm not sure, but 73 grams is plenty for me to make socks. But I will say, when I got this, I thought it was a self-striping. When it was in the hank, it looked like self-striping, but when I started winding it, I was like, those stripes look a little short, but I still wasn't sure. I'm not good at looking at the yarn and being able to tell what it is, but this is how it ended up knitting up, like micro stripes. So since I thought it was self-striping, I chose a self-striping pattern, and the pattern I chose is the Rustling Seed Socks by, who is it by? Lisa Wicks. So it has this elongated stitch going diagonally down the sock, and it's on the front and back of the leg and just the top of the foot. And I've recently gotten past the heel. These will definitely be done by Christmas, but I want to get them done even sooner because I have a Christmas sock set that I would like to make and a red skein of sport sock yarn that I think would also be fun to make in December. We'll see if I get to it, but at least one pair of Christmas socks I would like to make. So I put a poll on my Instagram because I wasn't sure if I wanted this to have no contrast heel, a black contrast heel, or a red one, and overall the black vote won, and I do like it a lot. It looks really good, and it'll probably make it easier to wear because I find I knit a lot of crazy socks and then they don't match anything. Not that your socks need to match your outfit, but they don't. And it sometimes makes them harder to wear, but that's okay. I have these on my new 9-inch circulars. I will admit getting started with these was very difficult. In the beginning it kind of hurt my hands, but I think I just loosened up and got used to it, and now I actually like them quite a bit, and I think they'd be great for like color work socks, because I think pulling floats over magic loop sometimes gets a little wonky. But anyway, I really like it. They're US 1, so my typical sock needle size. I haven't measured my gauge, but it looks and feels the same, and I haven't tried them on because of the 9-inch circulars, but when I switch it over for the toe to magic loop, I'll try them on and I will update you guys, and maybe I'll also measure the gauge too. I mean, that would be the proper thing to do. And then after my heel, I always mark it with a stitch marker, especially if it's not a contrasting color, because then I can count my foot rows. And there I have a new little Santa stitch marker. And that is an acquisition, and I'll show you the rest of them soon. But I'm about 60-70% done with that sock, so I don't expect it to take much longer. Hopefully done by the next episode, just so I can get Christmas socks going. And the contrast is just Cascade Heritage I had left over, just a basic 75-25 blend, which is getting used in a lot of socks because I just use it as like a contrast color and everything. So that is my final whip. Like I said, I do want to finish that up so I can cast on another pair of socks. And then I'm also hoping maybe before New Year's or maybe mid-January, I'd like to send out a package to 2 friends in Texas, because even though it's Texas, they say it gets cold. I believe them, at least probably by their standards. So I want to send her a scarf and him a hat, and hopefully I can get that done soon, and that'll really help me pare down my stash, which is kind of a goal of mine, because I would like to start buying yarn for projects and not finding projects for yarn, if that makes any sense. So now I'll go into a past project. And if you remember last week, I showed you my happenstance cowl, and now I want to show you what that came from. So that was leftover yarn, leftover from this. And I do roll my sweaters. I do get one crease down the middle. I don't really know of a better way to do it. I roll them up like this and sit them in a drawer. So if you have any better recommendations, please let me know. But unroll it here. This is the back. This is my Takumish. Probably saying it wrong. I apologize. Sorry for the snoring. Takumish by Caitlin Hunter. The main color here is, let me read it, Slate Blue Fantasia, which is discontinued. I got that on someone's Ravelry D-stash. I was searching through, got it really cheap because D-stash, it's discontinued. So I got that. And then these two are Valley Superwash Decay. This is the colorway Passion Plum and Blue Mist. So if you recall, I used the gray main color in the Passion Plum in the Happenstance cowl, which was my first brioche project. But this is what it's left over from. I really love this sweater. When I made it, I didn't mean for it to have 3/4 length sleeves, but it did, and I didn't feel like going back and changing it. And honestly, I don't mind it. I kind of like it. It's a little something different. And I honestly love the way the colors play together. Since it's more of a gray blue, paired with the blue, it looks really good. I did modify this, the original pattern, the split. So if you look here, the split for this sweater is much lower. It was about here. So I split, I think, yeah, it usually has you split after this chart, but I split in between these 2 charts using other people's notes on Ravelry, which I really like because having a lot of fabric under my arm isn't very comfortable, in my opinion. So I made that modification, so feel free to make that yourself. I think I have some notes on it, but other people's notes were better than mine. But I really like this. The color work went pretty good. I think my floats were pretty good. But this is still one of my favorite sweaters. It's surprisingly soft, and I love to wear it. It matches a lot of things with the gray main color being so neutral. Oops. That was my Takumish, which I think I finished December of last year, so almost exactly a year ago. And it's still one of my favorites. So there's that. Sorry about that. Mailman came with some used books I purchased. Sometimes I wish he wouldn't knock at all. But anyway,
He's not coming to get you. He's gone.
Anyway, for the maker I love, I want to talk about Unwind, which is one of my local yarn stores. And I love it there. The women are so great. They carry a wide variety of yarn. They have budget yarns, they have beautiful commercial yarns, some of them I hadn't heard of before, and really cool blends.
Nila, I just want to finish this podcast.
And then they also carry some hand-dyed yarns that are really lovely, tons and tons of notions, project bags, needles, everything you could ever want they have. Books, pattern books, amazing. I love it there, and I recently started attending their Sunday sit-in-its, which have different themes. They have socks, they have sweaters, they have donation knitting, but really you can bring and work on whatever you want. They're pretty open with it, and I've gotten to meet tons of new people, including the staff and different shoppers, and it's been so great. I love it there, and I'm just happy I found somewhere to knit regularly. It's good to talk with people about knitting, because even if your family listens, they don't really get it, you know. Talking to other crafters is really something special that I hold dear. So, Unwind Yarn Shop, they have, I think they have a box where you can order some mystery stuff if you're into that, but other than that, their online shop is a little limited. They're mostly in-store shopping, but if you're in Michigan, come check them out. Let's see, acquisitions is what's left. Other than a cat, I mean, I got a cat. But other than that, I made a stitch marker purchase, as you saw, the Santa Claus on those socks. So I'll start with my free gift, a little progress keeper that says made with love. I don't know if you can see it through the cellophane, and miscellaneous stitch markers. I got a 3-pack of the Christmas, so with the Santa you saw, I also got Rudolph and a Christmas tree. So such a cute Christmas set. I didn't want to get too much Christmas theme because I do have that advent calendar, and that will be a lot. 25 to be exact. That'll be a lot of progress keepers. And then this was from one of her previous collections, this planet, and it was on sale because of that. So I grabbed that and I really like it. Very cute. And then for my mystery progress keepers, oh, I love these so much. I got gummy bears, and I previously got, not from someone else, I got donut stitch markers. So I don't know if like sweets are becoming my go-to, but they're so cute. I can't wait to use them. These ones will probably wait until the Christmas season is over because I want all the Christmas progress keepers. And that reminds me, I need to move the progress keeper, maybe change out the progress keeper on my wool and honey. But I'll do that after the podcast. I'll probably switch it out to something more seasonal. But those are my stitch markers I got. I love them so much. And now I can put them on projects and dump them into my notions bag to be used. I think that's all I have to share. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have a great time, see your family, eat lots of food. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, still have a beautiful week, beautiful weekend. Hopefully you have the time off anyway. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you in 2 weeks. And until then, happy knitting. Bye.